What's with that look? You sure are rude for a daughter-in-law, Karen said as she looked at me with disdain.
I've decided to live with my mom. If you don't like it, we'll get a divorce.
My husband, Marcus, dropped a bombshell. What on earth are these people saying? They're forcing me to come back home to do housework while I was back to my parents' place to have this baby. And then he added,
If we leave the baby to my mom, you can focus on the housework.
My once gentle husband seemed like a different person, leaving me in utter despair, beyond sadness or anger. My brother raised an eyebrow and asked,
Doesn't that sound suspicious?
He started to share a plan to uncover the truth.
Do exactly as I say tomorrow, okay?
My name is Hannah, 32. I'm about to have my first baby. My due date is approaching, so I'm heading back to my parents' house tomorrow.
No, you shouldn't be lifting heavy things with a baby. Let me handle it,
Marcus said, packing my things for me. He was so kind and dependable. Don't start living like a slob just because I'm not there, I teased, knowing our new house was spotless thanks to my daily cleaning.
Of course, I'll keep it clean and wait for you, so come out soon, baby,
he said, rubbing my belly. It was a happy moment until it was ruined by a phone call. Seeing the name on the screen made my mood plummet. Hello, Hannah, came my mother-in-law Karen's shrill voice. You're having a baby at your parents' place. I told you that's disgraceful. I was tired of her daily calls, filled with fake concern and constant jabs. You're just lying around at home. Must be nice. Your belly is too tight. You must be overeating. Planning to gain even more weight? You're already big enough. She spat, followed by bragging about her own child-rearing days and lectures. I raised a fine boy with only breast milk and cloth diapers. Never felt it was hard. You're too soft, Hannah. She would even compare me to Marcus's ex-girlfriend and complain. She was cheerful and obedient. Why are you so defiant? I couldn't believe it. I asked Marcus to stop her, but the calls didn't stop. He's too kind to confront her, but I wouldn't be able to take this after the baby is born. Hannah, are you listening? Karen snapped. Yes, I am, I replied. Cancel your stay at your parents'. How could you leave my son alone? She demanded. Why is she worrying about her grown son? We're in the same city and I can come back quickly if needed, I said. It's not about the distance, she yelled. But I've already told my parents I was coming back, I insisted. Your parents? Whose child are you having? She spat out, showing just how outdated she was. Mine, obviously, but saying that would drive her mad. Marcus took the phone from me and said,
Mom, I told you. I have an important business trip starting tomorrow until her due date. It's safer if Hannah stays with her parents.
You never told me that, she retorted.
We decided this together, he replied.
Why are you talking to me like that, Marcus? She whined.
Could you take over instead then, Mom?
He asked. No way, she snapped. I didn't want her around either. She's terrible at housework and lives in a filthy house with 2 dogs and 2 cats. They're cute but not hygienic, and my midwife said it's better not to be around because of my suspected cat allergy. I can't look after Hannah. I have my dogs and cats to take care of.
Then it's settled.
Why would you say that? I had you and went straight back to work. Hannah is too spoiled.
Mom, are you saying it's okay if something happens to the baby?
I never said that. She snapped, and he tried to calm her down. She means no harm, but as a veteran parent, she's overexcited about her first grandchild. Still, I couldn't handle her while heavily pregnant. Marcus stepping in was a huge relief.
Don't worry about it,
he said, so I went to my parents as planned. Unless something happens, I'll stay until the baby's 1-month checkup. My parents live with my brother's family in a large house, and my sister-in-law just had a baby, so they're experienced and can help. I'd miss Marcus, but it's reassuring to have my mom and sister-in-law around. I spent a peaceful time at my parents' house. Labor started the day before my due date, and I gave birth safely. Marcus was still on his trip, which was a shame, but I sent him pictures. Timing is beyond our control. I dragged my aching postpartum body trying to care for my adorable baby. Even though I'd studied up, everything was new and difficult. The baby cried day and night, and just holding him made my shoulders tense. Feeding and changing diapers took up the whole day. My birth injuries hurt, and I couldn't sleep well, leaving me exhausted. But I loved my baby more than anything. I never got tired of looking at him, seeing the strength in his tiny cries. It was a relief that the hospital restricted visitors due to infection control. Otherwise, Karen would have drained my energy. The day to leave the hospital came quickly. Marcus was supposed to pick me up and take us to my parents, but an urgent matter came up, so my brother came instead. Work is important, so I understood. I couldn't wait for him to meet our baby. He had been so excited. But days passed, then a week, and still no visit from him. This is strange. Our baby was born. He should have rushed over. My family was worried too. I knew it was a busy time for him, but surely he could spare a moment to see us. I felt uneasy. Messages asking him to call went unread, adding to my anxiety. I tried calling at a time when he should be free, but he didn't answer. What's going on? He finally called back around midnight.
Oh, you're awake? I thought you'd be asleep.
But you called me. That didn't matter. I was just relieved to hear his voice. I was just feeding the baby. You must be really busy.
Yeah, a bit.
He replied casually, as if my worries meant nothing. Come see the baby soon. We need to submit the birth certificate. What's the matter?
You can do that without me, right?
What? I yelled, waking the baby.
Sorry, I'm really busy.
I get that, but... The baby started crying again, needing a diaper change.
The name we picked is fine. No changes.
What?
I saw the pictures, so just handle the paperwork. Okay, gotta go.
Hey, wait!
I've got an early start tomorrow. Bye.
And he hung up. I was stunned and my mind went blank for a moment. Then I started to feel sad. No matter how busy he is, handling things so coldly is just awful. It was too much for my fragile postpartum state. I sighed, feeling it was hopeless. Sure, I had the baby, but Marcus's life hadn't changed at all. Expecting him to switch into dad mode suddenly was unrealistic. I hoped he'd feel differently when he saw our child. I thought about going home early, but my mom and sister-in-law convinced me not to. Still, something didn't feel right. His cold attitude was troubling. Karen, who used to call incessantly, hadn't contacted me at all. I'd sent several messages with no replies. Not that I wanted to hear from her, but still, what was going on? Taking care of a newborn left me no time to dwell on it. 2 weeks flew by. My brother submitted the birth certificate. My parents helped during the day so I could get some rest, and my strength was returning. Then Marcus called. Hello, honey.
We need to talk.
His tone was ominous. What's wrong?
Come home now.
What? Now? What's going on? The baby just fell asleep and I'm in my pajamas. What happened? Is everything all right?
Just come home now.
He sounded frantic. Something serious must have happened. I hastily handed the baby to my mom and drove back in my pajamas. What could have happened? I told myself to drive safely, but the red lights felt endless and I was getting annoyed. 10 minutes later, I arrived home. I clutched my phone just in case. I walked in to find Marcus and Karen relaxing with coffee. I had expected the worst, but I was still taken aback. As I stood there not understanding what was going on, I noticed something off about the house. What is this? All my small vases, cushions, stuffed animals, and wall clocks were gone. Oh, I didn't like them, so I threw them out, Karen said nonchalantly. Those were all precious to me, too. And I took the room upstairs, she added. This didn't make any sense. I looked at Marcus for help, but he was ice cold. What's going on? Why did you tell me to come home? I demanded. While he stayed silent, Karen spoke. Enough with this nonsense. Excuse me? When are you coming back? You're the wife. You need to take care of us. Come home and make our meals, she said. I was speechless. I was supposed to be with the baby until his 1-month checkup. What's with that look? She glared. I mustered up the courage and said to my husband, Marcus, explain this, I pleaded.
I've decided to live with my mom,
he said. Wait, what?
If you don't like it, we'll get a divorce.
Wait, how did this happen? What did I do? Why is this happening? I begged, tears welling up. Marcus and Karen exchanged smirks.
Well, are you staying or going?
At that moment, her 2 dogs and 2 cats bounded down the stairs, making me sneeze. Of course they're living here with me. They're part of the family. I told you I might be allergic to cats. Uh-huh, sure. It's not like you've been diagnosed. It's all in your head. Karen dismissed. I covered my face with a handkerchief as my eyes and nose itched. Upon closer inspection, I saw scratches on the wallpaper and pillars. It looked like the pets had used them as scratching posts. This was supposed to be our pristine new house. How could Marcus suggest this when he knew about my allergy? Why now? Why is she moving in now?
Mom will handle the baby so you can focus on the house.
Don't make decisions without me. Why did you throw away my things? They were tacky, she said. Excuse me? I definitely didn't want to hear that from a mother-in-law who goes shopping in her son's hand-me-down tracksuit. I tried to argue, but Marcus cut me off.
Just make dinner.
What? Who is this jerk? I felt despair beyond anger. Does he not even care where our baby is right now? The thought of our baby brought me clarity. Enough. I didn't need this husband or this father. This is a waste of time. Divorce it is. Tears welled up, not from sadness, but from my cat allergy. I fled back to my parents' house. Seeing my sleeping baby, I finally cried. My brother listened to my story. I told him how they are forcing me to live with them in the house that no longer looked anything like it did before. Tears kept flowing even without the cats.
Isn't this suspicious, though?
My brother said.
Why are they doing this to you now? Maybe something happened.
He mumbled to himself.
You're just going to accept this?
I don't know what to do.
Are you okay with it?
Of course not. It's infuriating and makes no sense.
Listen, tomorrow I want you to do as I say, okay?
The next day I returned to the house in an apron and mask. The place was a mess, covered in pet hair, laundry, and trash. I quietly cleaned each room. Karen watched with satisfaction. Finally figured out your role, huh? Now bring the baby, she ordered. I will after I finish cleaning, I said. When will that be? By tomorrow. Hurry up, lazy. I'm sorry. I'll make sure it's spotless for you and the pets. You'd better. She could gloat all she wanted for now. I smirked. See you tomorrow. Don't be late. She sat there smug and oblivious. She wouldn't be like that for long. Everything was going as planned. I went back to my parents and held my baby. Karen had insisted I bring him. She had another thing coming. I wouldn't let her near my child. My brother showed me a video. It was from a camera I had set up during my cleaning. Karen and Marcus were applauding. Once the house is clean, we'll kick her out. Just a little pressure and she'll break.
Hurry up, my girlfriend is waiting, he said.
I told you, Marcus, your ex is better for you.
You were right. I should have listened.
Hannah's strong-willed, has no love, but has a cat allergy. At least she gave us a grandson, she said.
I don't want the baby when I'm with my girlfriend.
That's fine. I'll raise the baby myself. What audacity. I was furious.
These cameras are impressive,
my brother marveled. I didn't care. My rage was justified. So that was their plan. Take over the house and the baby, dump me, and reunite with his ex. Leaving my baby with my mom, my brother and I stormed out. You won't get away with this, Marcus and Karen. I will not forgive you two for what you've done. I walked back in, shocking both of them. Are you here to continue cleaning the house? Yes, I am, I answered. I'm cleaning up the big trash today. My brother's helping. Fine, but don't make too much noise, Karen said. Sure. Now into the trash, both of you. What?
Excuse me?
Since they didn't understand, I decided to explain. You're the ones getting kicked out, I said. Their faces turned pale. What are you talking about? This sham of a move-in is over. I won't let you replace me with your ex.
What?
Divorce is fine by me. You'll never get the baby. How do you know that? My brother answered.
We saw everything on camera. We have recordings.
A camera?
You can't do that.
When did you install a camera? Today, when I was cleaning, I replied nonchalantly. This is an invasion of privacy.
You can't do that without permission. It's illegal.
I stayed calm while they raged. I set them up for you, Karen, I said. For me? Yes, so you can watch your pets when you're out. While checking the camera, I accidentally overheard your conversation.
What?
Marcus went pale. So, Marcus, while I was risking my life giving birth, what were you doing?
I...
He was speechless. Karen, did you know? You liked his ex, didn't you? Is this your doing? No, I'm innocent. When I came to cook for Marcus after his trip, his ex was already there.
You suggested she move in, though,
he said. I was covering for your affair. It seemed convenient. I mean... They scrambled to explain. Why did you bring her into our house? Was the trip a lie?
No, I met her by chance and had a drink. One thing led to another, and it just happened.
What do you mean, it just happened?
Well...
I looked at him with utter disgust.
It's not like I had planned it. She said I was neglected.
What? I was furious. Neglected? I'm neglecting him?
She's right, you know. You used your pregnancy as an excuse to ignore me. I felt abandoned.
What are you talking about? You agreed to everything.
No, I didn't. I was pretending. Why didn't you care for me? I was always kind to you and yet never got acknowledged for it.
He whined like a child. What's wrong with him? Is this his true nature? Comparing himself to our unborn child? Unbelievable.
My ex said she'd comfort me if I got tired of being a dad.
So he went straight to her while I was gone? He hadn't even started being a dad yet. I took out my phone and made a call. It's a call to the woman who needed to be present. I had already contacted her. My brother had found her on social media, explained the situation, and she agreed to talk. Hi, sorry to bother you again. Could you tell my husband what you told me earlier? He still doesn't seem to get it. I put the phone on speaker. Annoyed, she began. I did nothing wrong. I was tricked into coming over and listened to his complaints. Then his mom showed up, and it got weird. So I left quickly. I hate her and don't want any contact. I'm married with kids. Marcus and Karen were stunned. You hate me?
Maybe I didn't remember things clearly because I was drunk.
I don't remember her being married. So who's lying? I asked coldly. Marcus laughed nervously.
It's her. She fled when things got awkward. I'm the victim here. Forgive me, Anna. Of course, I forgive you too.
I had nothing to be forgiven for. He looked guilty. His lies were obvious. He tried to grab my hand, but I pulled away. Don't touch me with your filthy hands.
You're right to be mad now, but you'll forgive me someday. I was lonely, manipulated by my ex and mom. Let's start over.
Start over? Are you drunk? I see your true colors now. It's good you didn't hold my baby.
What? I can't hold my child?
Neither can Karen. That's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you let me hold him?
Wait, let's fix this. Seeing our baby will change me.
I couldn't believe it. I saw him say he didn't want the baby on camera. You're the one who wanted a divorce. You're too immature to be a parent.
You're taking the father away from the baby?
Don't act like a dad now. Better no father than one like you. Start over with your mom in your next life. Hope she praises you enough, I said coldly. Marcus slumped. Karen snapped. You're not scaring me. I'll sue for invasion of privacy and keeping the baby from me. How could she fabricate charges? My brother stepped in.
You'll lose. Don't waste your money.
What do you know? If you just give up, you lose. If you sue, you win. She looked so confident, but she didn't know my brother's profession, did she? My brother quietly handed her his business card. What? You work at a law firm?
Yes, as a lawyer, I can tell you this case wouldn't hold up in court. You'd just waste your money.
To the shocked pair, I said, You're right, giving up would be a loss. I'll sue for alimony and child support. What? They panicked. The cats woke up and I left before sneezing. Wait!
Tell me you're joking.
They yelled, but I ignored them. I returned to my baby. Of course, Marcus and I divorced. I demanded a lump sum for alimony and child support. He sulked.
Divorce? It's unfair to me and the kid.
Unfair? Yes, it's unfair to me and the baby because he betrayed us. He'll never be a father. Karen was worse. I'm old with 4 pets. You'd let us suffer? My grandson deserves better than you. She blamed me but was completely wrong. Don't shift pet care onto me. I'm glad my mother-in-law, who tried to force my child to take care of her in her old age, is out of the picture. I want him to be happy. They wanted to stay in the house we bought last year. It was bold of them to want to stay in a house that was co-owned. It was in both our names, but I didn't want to stay where they ruined it. So we sold it for the lump sum. The house went to someone else, and I got the money. A fresh start. I'm happy for you for getting what you wanted, Marcus. My brother guided us through the process. I owed him a lot. Sorry for dragging you into this. I apologized to him, to which he replied,
I'll always help you, Hannah.
He's so sweet.
Next time, introduce me to any new guy.
He's also protective. I'll focus on raising my child. No time for men. But at the hospital for an allergy test, I met an old classmate. We exchanged contacts. I thought we'd never talk because I was busy, but he was busier than me as a nurse. We emailed occasionally. The allergy test results came back, and I did have a cat allergy, sadly. I love cats. Years passed before we could have dinner. We dated, and after a few years, got married. He was the right father for my child. My brother and I agreed. I want to be happy.